Hi everyone, Debra Hamilton, Hamilton Law and Mediation, and Why Do Pets Matter, the podcast. Please join me there. We're going to have another great episode coming up next Thursday. We just put up a fabulous episode last Thursday. But tonight, I want to thank Melanie Porter, who, along with Linda and Bill, I was a guest on their program this week. We talked about making a plan for your pets. And during COVID, I have really talked about making plans for your pets, but not just during COVID. Hi, Margaret. Glad you're here. Not just during COVID, because Melanie Porter just sent me this article. I'm going to turn my phone around so you can see my screen. There you go. There it is. A woman who had an accident in her house had her dog taken by Animal Care and Control. It was taken to a shelter, and then it was given away. It was given away. Now, hi, Scott. Nice to see you. I love your grandchildren. They're so beautiful. They're my nieces and nephews, great nieces and nephews. But this woman's dog was given away. She went to the hospital. She took 4 or 5 days to get better, but she had an injury that needed rehabilitation, and so she didn't return home, and she didn't take her phone with her. So when the shelter called, there was nobody to answer the phone. When she was being taken out of her house, according to the article, she asked, "Where are you taking my dog?" And they said, "We're just taking it to the shelter for 30 days. You know, you'll be back in time to get it. No problem." Guess what? She wasn't back. And in fact, the Animal Care and Control gave it to a rescue that then had it adopted out 2 weeks before she was able to go and look for it. And of course, which is true, rescues do not let you know where your dog is once they've rescued it out. If you drop your dog off at a rescue because you can't care for it anymore, you give up the right to knowing where that dog will be going forward. Hi, Rachel. I'm glad you're here. You give up your right, if you drop your dog off at a rescue, you give up your right to know where that dog's going to go or going to be. The problem is this woman didn't give up that right. She believed that Animal Care and Control, since she was being taken to the hospital, would hold her dog until she got out, and that's not what happened. The sad thing in this article was the town sort of washed their hands. They gave it to the rescue. It's all the rescue's fault. And it really isn't all the rescue's fault. Everybody's got to work in tandem when people have accidents in their home, get injured in their home, get sick in their home, and have to be picked up and taken out of their home. We're having another program Tuesday at noon. It's bit.ly/MAAP, the word April, capital A, P-R-I-L, 21st. You can join us to talk about that plan you're going to make. Because this woman's dog was given away. She now has to, hi Patty, hi Nicole, she now has to sue the rescue that the Animal Care and Control gave her dog to get her dog back. Hi, Carolyn. Good to see you. She's suing the Animal Care and Control, but the Animal Care and Control, as I said, washed its hands because it gave it to the rescue. Hi, Susan. Washed it of the rescue. And the rescue gave the dog away, and this woman now wants her Afghan back. So if you watch this again, well, I'll turn the camera around again. This is the article I'm talking about. My friend... I hope you can see it. I think you can. They gave her dog away, a beautiful purebred Afghan. She was picked up, this woman was picked up, went to the hospital, and Animal Care and Control told her, we're going to hold it 30 days, but then they gave it to a rescue who adopted it out. This is what happens. Everybody's doing their best. I'm not criticizing the rescue. I'm not criticizing Animal Care and Control. I'm just wishing that people would join me when I do my MAAP program to make the plan that navigates the journey their pet's going to take. That's why I call it the MAAP plan, when they can't care for it. So this woman was taken to the hospital. Her dog was taken by Animal Care and Control. Animal Care and Control then gave the dog to a rescue. The rescue then placed the dog, and now the woman has to sue the rescue to get it back, because rescues, by virtue of what they do and who they are, do not turn over the information of the family that adopted the dog. Hi, Jean. They just don't turn over the information of the dog once it's adopted. So if you don't have a plan in place, if you don't have directions, when you fall on the floor in your kitchen, when animal care and control comes, this woman lived alone. And hi, Stephanie. This woman lived alone. She fell. I believe she broke something. She went to the hospital. Animal care and control took her dog. And when they took the dog, they kept the dog, but then they released it to a rescue who adopted the dog. And if the dog's adopted, the rescue doesn't tell you where the dog goes. And that's the plan. And I get it. But if you had a plan in place, that's not going to happen. If you fall in your house and your family is with you going to the hospital and animal care and control comes, or somebody isn't home, or whatever happens, if you have the plan in place, the MAAP plan, navigating the journey your pet takes when you can't care for it, that will help you allow animal care and control to know that that dog is going to be cared for. If Debra Hamilton is the person, name, telephone number on your refrigerator, big letters, if something happens to me, this is the person to call. It should be a neighbor. I'm telling you, you got to make friends with your neighbors. I mean, I'm making friends with my neighbors in this new neighborhood where I'm renting a house, because it is imperative that there is somebody close by who can tell animal care and control that they will take care of your dog until the person comes who's going to take your dog. Or they might be the person who's going to take your dog or cat or horse or bird if something happens to you. But you really need to have someone boots on the ground nearby who the police can call. And I always say, I'm the queen of redundancy. If you've ever watched any of my MAAP programs, I am the queen of redundancy. And it can't always be your family. It needs to be somebody else, because your family's going to want to be at the hospital. If you've been in a car accident, if you've fallen and hurt yourself, they're going to want to be there with you. So you really need to give them a break as well, not having to take care of the dogs. But this is all in the MAAP program. When I give it long term, you can go to my website, hamiltonlawandmediation.com, or come Tuesday. It's free, 30 minutes. We sit and shoot the breeze about how we're surviving COVID, how our pets are surviving COVID, what would happen if we got COVID to our pets. Have you made that plan? If you've been with me on a Tuesday, you know the drill. If you haven't, you should be there this Tuesday, and you should bring a friend who has a pet, because you really want to know what to do if, God forbid, something happens to you and you need to have someone caring for your pet. Until Tuesday, and until I get on FaceTime again, because I have to tell you, Facebook Live has been a lifesaver for me with respect to letting people know what I'm up to, both mediating conflicts between people over animals, doing this MAAP plan, doing the COVID MAAP plan specifically for what do you do if you end up in the hospital. These are important times. These are important decisions and directions you need to put in place. So Debra Hamilton, Hamilton Law and Mediation, and the Why Do Pets Matter podcast. Don't forget to go to iTunes and listen to the podcast. It is, hey, Mary, how are you? Mary has just gotten a new puppy who is lovely. But we were talking about making a plan for your pet so that if something happens to you, you are going to have all the ducks in place. The article that I put on the beginning of this video, if you watch it again, all right, fine, I'll turn around again. Here it is. She went to the hospital and her dog was given away by a shelter. And as I said at the beginning, and I'm driving everybody nuts. Hi, Linton. I'm driving everyone nuts. But she was told by the Animal Care and Control that they hold the dog for 30 days. They didn't. They gave it to a rescue. The rescue adopted it out. And now the rescue is making her sue them. I love you too, Mayor. The rescue is making her sue them to get her dog back because they won't tell her where her dog is, a 9-year-old Afghan. If you want, send me a text, send me a messenger. I'll shoot you this article. It is frightening. Hi, Stacy. How are you? I'll send you this article if you send me a messenger about this woman who fell in her home, was taken to the hospital, her dog was taken to Animal Care and Control, and the rescue that Animal Care and Control released it to adopted it out, and now she's trying to get it back. Two things were a problem for me in this article. One was Animal Care and Control washed its hands once it gave it to rescue. I am crazy about that. I mean, do not wash your hands. You were the one who gave her the peace of mind that she would, hi Stacy, that she would have 30 days to get her dog back, and she was going to the hospital. Really? And then I understand the rescue. I do, and I understand animal care and control giving it to the rescue because, dog might not have done good at animal care and control. Maybe they fostered it out, and then it was adopted. But this woman, 72 years old, with a 9-year-old Afghan, wants her dog back at the end of her recuperation. So let's all work together. How about that? Let's all work together, make a plan. That's why I have this MAAP plan that, I'm maniacal about it because I want you to make sure that your pet will always be in your life, even if something happens to you. Information on your refrigerator so they know who to call. They don't take your dog, number one. Information in your car in the event that your dog is home alone or your dog's in the car. Animal care and control. Your husband, your son, your daughter could always take the dog if they're living in the house with you. But if you have an accident in the car with your dog's going to animal care and control. And in my MAAP plan that I talk about, I go into, it's New Jersey, Mary. When I do my MAAP plan, I go into how often things happen and you're like, oh my God, I did it for this, but I didn't do it for that. And I make sure that you do it for everything. Because it's so important to me that you make a plan that really will work all the time. And as I said before, you really want to give your folks or your children or your spouse a break. If you're hurt, they really don't want to take care of your dog. I mean, they love your dog. It's not that they don't want to take care of your dog, but they are worried about you. Redundancy. I know that Mary Monjoy, who's on here, knows that I'm like a crazy person over this because people don't understand that everybody's doing their best. And sometimes that isn't what you would hope would happen to your pet. At the end of this article, and yes, I'll send it to you, Mary, and anybody who sends me a Facebook Messenger, I'll send it to them. And thank you, shout out to Mel Porter, who sent it to me. One of the rescues said, listen, we gave it to a young family. Now, this is a 9-year-old Afghan, and this woman's 72 years old. Maybe it's better off with a young person. I don't know. I'm 62. I don't want anybody to tell me I'm too old to have my dogs. But people really do have their own opinion, and that's okay. But let's make sure we make a plan. So join me Tuesday. So this is the big spiel. Join me Tuesday, noontime. Go to Hamilton Law and Mediation, or the bit.ly is hi, Mike, how are you? The bit.ly for the COVID MAAP discussion. It's just a discussion. We all get together noontime for half an hour. I swear to God, 30 minutes. And we talk about what you've done to make sure your pets are safe in the event, God forbid, you get sick with COVID. And then I also sneak in, did you make this plan for like the rest of your life? Because it's really important. We all need people close by us, especially now in COVID. Because if you don't have a neighbor that's going to take care of your pets, the people... Like, I can't leave New York and go somewhere. I'm in, like, ground zero of COVID, so nobody wants me to come to their house. So I might not be able to get to you, even though I'm the person you want to take your pets. So we talk about that. Tuesday, April 21st, noontime, Eastern Daylight Time. The address is bit.ly, and it's bit.ly/MAAP April 21, because it's April 21st on Tuesday. So again, join me. I look forward to it. I'm going to let you all go now. This has been much longer Facebook Live than I've done, but my God, this article just put me over the edge. It really did. I have to tell you that when people tell me I've got a plan in place, everything's wonderful, I say, yes, you do, and God forbid you have a car accident or you fall down in your house and you're alone. The people who come to help you take your dogs. And whether or not you get your dogs back or they go to the right people is only if you have something on your fridge, something in your car that tells people what you want to do with your pet. I know your sister, your mother, your brother, your aunt, your uncle, your husband, your kids, they all know because you've told them. So much easier if you don't just tell them, but you absolutely give them written directions. Because when you're on the floor and everybody's at work and, God forbid, and you're taken to the hospital, your dogs are going to animal care and control unless they know where you want your dogs to go. Debra Hamilton, enough tonight. Have a great Saturday night. I'm going to go have pot roast. It's cold here in the Northeast, and pot roast is going to sound so good. You guys take care. Remember, go to HamiltonLawMediation.com to, if you have any issues, conflicts, difficult conversations, I'll help you. I'll transform them for you. That's what I do. Also, join us Tuesday for the MAAP plan, which is talking about COVID, every Tuesday at noon. Just go to my website, you'll see it, or just, it's always on my Facebook page, so you can sign up. It's free, and it's 30 minutes, and we chat about what it is we need to do. Take care. Have a great Saturday night. And Mary, kiss Cabo for me. You take care.